Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Star Fox Adventures. Last time, we landed here in the walled city, got ourselves the Super Groundquake, an upgrade to our Groundquake ability, and we went around collecting some teeth that we need to go ahead and place in here, right next to the King of the Earthwalker. So let's go ahead and do just that. So we'll start with the gold tooth we got first for wiping out all the Red Eye tribe members around the walled city. And now the silver tooth, where we just had to, well, if his tail wasn't in my way, where all we had to do was just shoot some targets on some trees, and that activate another silver ring challenge for us. But there we go. Once you place both of those teeth in, you can go ahead and head down into this cavern. But before doing so, let's go ahead and see what the King of the Earthwalker says.
The sacred teeth must be returned.
Maybe if he turns around, he'll see that the sacred teeth have been returned. My gosh. Not that bright, buddy. But let's go ahead and head in here. So we have the big daddy of the Red Eyes right here. This guy, he's not easy. And in fact, what you want to do, you want to go ahead and grab yourself one of these fuel barrels. The second he roars, stand on one of these switches that you see. These electric barriers activate. Then once he's stunned, throw a fuel barrel in his face and run. The best thing to do is you need to go ahead around here and open up these gates using your fire blaster. Just stand in here. The second you hit this guy, he's gonna go running, and he's gonna be rampaging. If you just stay in one corner like this, you'll never be in danger. And in fact, this is probably the best strategy. Just hiding in this corner until you hear the music change. Once you hear the music go back to normal, then you just go back out, grab another fuel barrel here, rinse, and repeat. So now that the music stopped, let's go ahead and walk back out here. Oh geez! It's not a pretty image. Is he gone? Okay, he's gone. So now we need to actually head down here, because this is something I actually forgot as well. These platforms will change up their locations every once in a while, so I wasn't expecting the location to change like that. So I'm going to actually throw that away and get myself a new one, because I want to open up this gate. There we go. So I'll grab this barrel. Now I just gotta wait. And the second this guy roars, when you want to step on the switch, because if you step on this thing any earlier, the electricity will go off too early. Like that. It went off too early there. So I screwed up. The better timing for it actually isn't when the gate first... not the gate. I'm thinking a little bit ahead here. The second you want to step on these switches is not when he roars, the second, but like a little bit into it. So it's a little hard to time, and it kind of changes within each hit. So I have to delay this a little bit, like probably halfway through the roar, I'll need to step on the switch. It's all about timing, but you always want to be stepping on the switch during the time that this guy's roaring. And his head's going right through the ceiling. Didn't program that well. But now if I stand on this, that should hurt him. Yep, there we go. Barely did, but that worked nonetheless. So now we just gotta wait in here again. This big old Red Eye will be rampaging like he always does. And now we just gotta play the waiting game. In all honesty, this is probably one of the easiest, if not the easiest boss in the game, just because all you gotta do is just hide in a corner and you'll never get hurt. Since this big guy doesn't think of stopping real quick and poking his head in here, so you'll be safe if you just stay in a corner. And the only way you're going to get yourself hurt is if you're more reckless with this fight, if you're just kind of going around trying to attack this guy and in a very impatient fashion. So just hanging back like I'm doing here is just the best thing to do. And in all honesty, this boss fight is probably one of my least favorite in the game just because of this reason. Only because it's just so easy and straightforward. With the first boss, you had more to do. Well, the second boss wasn't even a boss when you really think about it, but then the next one, there's more of a hazard compared to this. I mean, this boss fight has pretty much no challenge. So with that, we'll just go ahead and throw this at his face, and we gotta run. I didn't think this one through all the way. I didn't open that gate. Luckily, though, there's more areas for you to hide, so you can just hide in here if you want, for example. So I'll go ahead and grab myself some more energy for the staff. And whenever this mode's going on, the camera's in a fixed position. So you're going to have to find the right place to use your staff. You won't be able just to use it wherever you feel like, which is kind of disappointing. But it's a little bit buggy when you think about it, since I just used it there during the cinematic scene. And let me see if I can actually beat him over here. This is the reckless thing I was talking about earlier. So if this doesn't work, this will hurt me. Alright, I should just be able to stand on here, and... okay, he's down, so this should be the final hit.
Have you got it? Dad, look what we've got!
Well done. You have both made me very proud. Do not worry, son. I will stay within the city until it is returned to the planet. I will see you again soon. Now let's waste no more time. You have a spell stone to take to the volcano.
And with that, we're all done with the walled city. This is probably the shortest amount of time we've ever been in an area. Because with the Dark Ice Mines and the Cloudrunner Fortress, we were here for quite some time. We were really only here for a video and a half, basically, which is translating to about half an hour. So the walled city really isn't all that long of an area, but something tells me there was a reason why this was so short, but we'll find out about that later. So now that we have ourselves our third spellstone, we need to head back to the Volcano Force Point Temple on the dinosaur planet. So with that, let's get our mission briefing and I'll meet you guys on the surface.
The King Earthwalker is very grateful, Fox. You saved him from those blood-crazed red eyes. Take this spellstone to the Volcano Force Point. It will close the seal at the volcano, and you will be one step closer to bringing the planet back together. Get to it, Fox. You know the way. Pepper out.
Alright, we're back here at Thorntail Hollow. We weren't gone for all that long, so... I'd like to say it's good to be back, but for how long we were really gone, it's hard to really say that. It's nice to be back, how about that? It's nice to be back on the surface. But now we need to make our way all the way back through Moon Mountain Pass because we need to head back to the Volcano Force Point Temple. And since we really don't have anything new on our way back, I'm probably just going to go ahead and just cut to that area. So, unless there's anything new going to happen on the way over, I guess I'm going to go ahead and meet you guys at the Volcano Force Point Temple's entrance. Alright, here we are back at the Volcano Force Point Temple. we haven't been here in a while, so let's go ahead and get our spell stone out if I can find it. There it is. Go ahead and use the spell stone. We've already seen this kind of cutscene, so we're just opening back up the gate. The gate shut before, but now it will always stay open, so we don't need to worry about that. But before heading back into the Volcano Force Point Temple itself, I want to actually head down here. Last time we were at the gateway of the Volcano Force Point Temple, we couldn't go inside of this one area because, well, we didn't really have any moon seeds at the time. We couldn't do anything over here, which is why I never showed it. But now that we have access to moon seeds, if I can ever find it in the inventory, there we go. We can actually plant it here and use Tricky's flame command to go ahead and make ourselves pretty much a ladder to climb our way up. And this is all optional, by the way, so nothing here is actually required. This is just to get us a nice little cheat token, so this will be our 5th cheat token. And it's been a while since we got one of these, so it's nice to get a cheat token again. And we have plenty of scarabs to cover the charge. Yep, we know the drill by now. Here's your 20 scarabs. Now, give me my cheat token. There we go. Got another one. So now with that, we can actually head into the Volcano Force Point Temple, and that box looks like it's getting closer. Feel a little claustrophobic with that here. And it just has a bathroom, Dad. Goody. Can I get the fuel cell, please? Thank you. Doing laps around it for no reason. Let me grab some more health while I'm here. And now let's go ahead and head into the Volcano Force Point Temple. Kind of dragged out the video by at least a minute and a half to maybe 2 minutes just from that alone, but, well, you know, cheat token kind of required to meet my 100% definition, so had to do it. So let's go ahead and get our spell stone and let's head back into the front door. So now that we have ourselves the 2nd spell stone in this area, while things aren't going to be too different, there will be some different stuff that we'll have to do in here. Like, for example, the enemies are a little bit harder. They're going to throw some more shield guys our way this time, but, you know, since we had the freeze blast here, it's not that big of a deal. But luckily, since this is our 2nd trip here, we don't have to solve some of the puzzles that we previously solved. Like this one, for example, to activate the elevator, we don't have to worry about because that was already solved for us. Last time we were here, we did all that work, and it transfers over. And the same thing will happen when we get ourselves our final spellstone and have to head to the Ocean Force Point Temple. The exact same principle will apply because, well, we've already been there too, so that's a good thing. Makes our trips back here so much easier. But let's go ahead and activate this switch with our spellstone. So that just pretty much unlocks that door over there. Not that big of a deal. I'll just take the damage. You could, in theory, go ahead and get rid of that fire, but I don't really care, and that actually helped because I killed the enemy. Sweet. But yeah, you can go ahead and get rid of that fire before jumping on it, but I just find just taking the damage is so much faster and so much easier too. Because it's kind of a pain to actually put that fire out, so I'd rather just take the damage. But here we go in our elevator. Let's go ahead and take this up. And let's see, what do we have here? So we have green fire, red fire, yellow, and that's it. Okay. Oh, no, there's blue in the front. So it's blue, green, red, yellow. We gotta actually remember this pattern because we need to head up here and put out some flames. And the flames are color-coded, so we gotta remember that pattern. And it's very, very, very straightforward. So, blue, then the green, and then I do believe the next one was red. Yep, it's red. And then yellow. You really only just have to turn around for the green fire, and then after that, it's pretty linear. Very, very easy puzzle. But there we go, that unlocks that door, so grab ourselves some more staff energy and traverse forward. Now, if this pathway looks familiar, It's because the Volcano Force Point Temple is very symmetrical to itself. Some rooms are a little different, like this one is completely different. We haven't seen a room like this, and did you really just not try? That's a first. I've never seen a shark claw just stand there before. But yeah, the Volcano Force Point Temple is very symmetric to each other. Some rooms, like this one for example, will be different. But for the most part, a lot of the standard layout, like that puzzle room there for example, it's exactly the same how we saw it on the other side. It's very symmetrical. But we want to go ahead and climb up here. We need Tricky to stand on that switch, otherwise this ladder wouldn't be here. So put out the fire and activate the switch, which opens up that door. And I do believe right after we go through this door, then we should be good to go. We should be on our way to returning this final spellstone. Oh, after this puzzle, of course. I forgot about this. Let me see. Can I put out that flame from here? I hope I can. Yeah, I can. What do you know? I didn't think I could. Thought for sure I wouldn't be able to make that. Alright, but let's get our fire blaster on the Y button because we're going to be needing to use it here. We have a little puzzle that we need to take care of. If Tricky would stay on the button. Thank you, Tricky. My gosh. Didn't want to obey my commands for once. So we need to shoot these things in according to the color. It would actually help if I get a little closer. That's green, that's blue. Oh good, I made it. And then one more. There we go. That's probably the fastest I actually solved that puzzle. Every single other time I try to solve that, it just takes so much longer. Alright, let's go, Tricky. That should be the last thing. Yeah, this room looks very familiar, so that was the last thing we had to do. Now we're ready to head back into this warp point and return ourselves our third spellstone. Second and final spellstone to the Volcano Force Point Temple. And of course, before I go in the warp, I just had to get hit one more time. That just figures now, doesn't it? But yeah, that was our final spellstone, the Volcano Force Point Temple. We do not have to come back here ever again. We don't have to come back through Moon Mountain Pass. We don't have to head back into the volcano area. We're done. So with that said, let's go ahead and place our third spellstone back into its rightful place. Alright, now that we got our third spellstone back, we never have to come back here again, so let's go ahead and leave this area. And since we don't have to come back here or do anything with these guys, I'm just gonna ignore these sharp claw. Don't really care at the moment to fight you guys. So now we just have to head back to Thorntail Hollow and, well, see if we can find ourselves our final gatekeeper, since, well, we only have one more area to go to get our final spellstone, so there's only one more gatekeeper left. It's hard to believe that we're already this far into, oh, who am I kidding? Because of my upload schedule, saying it's hard to believe that we're to this point isn't as plausible to say. I would love to say that right now, but it doesn't sound as fitting as it should be. It's sad but true. And for those people who are watching this video all already with the whole entire series done, you guys probably aren't really caring about what I'm trying to say here now, but besides the point. I would love to say that it feels pretty good to be this far along without having some kind of guilt in the back of my mind. Because I do feel a little bad and guilty for not having this go up as I wanted to this year. I do, but we're still making some good progress at this point, so I'm happy about that. But now what we gotta do is just need to lead the Moon Mountain Pass, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. And since nothing really interesting is gonna happen on the way back until we get back to Thorntail Hollow probably, I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here. So with that said, next time on Let's Play Star Fox Adventures, we're gonna go around Thorntail Hollow, see what we can do now we placed our third spellstone back into the Volcano Force Point Temple, and see if we can find out where the location of this last gatekeeper could be. So with that, I'll see you guys next time.